Hey everyone, so I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about mileage and how it impacts your training. So there's this new thing out there on social media where everyone's bragging about their monthly mileage totals. Everyone's telling you how many miles per week they ran, and it's kind of like this whole comparison game. Do I need to run 50 miles a week if I want to qualify for Boston? Do I need to run 100 miles a week to break 3 hours? There's all these questions out there, and I just wanted to tell you that it is not like there's a magic formula, like you have to run 60 miles a week and then you'll get your Boston qualifying time. Absolutely not. So I've coached runners for 5 years and I've seen people all across the board. I've had some people who, they tried running high mileage and it didn't work out for them. And they could only run 30 miles a week and that's what got them their BQ. I've seen runners on the other end of the spectrum where they needed to run 70, 80 miles a week in order to reach that Boston qualifying time. It just really depends on the person. And there's a lot of factors that go into our training. So a majority of us, people watching this video, running is a recreational activity for you. So on top of running, you are juggling work, probably full time, more than 40 hours a week. You probably have a family, so you have a spouse, you have children, you have other responsibilities besides running. And so what running is for your body is training is all about the stress and how you can manage it. So on top of your run training, you're also juggling all these other responsibilities in your life. You might also be a student on top of all of those things. These are all stressors in your life, and we need to be very careful of how we are comparing, oh, my training cycle compared to this other person's training cycle, because everyone has different things that are going to impact the amount of stress that their body can handle. And if you're under a lot of stress from other sources, it's going to be very important that you have extra rest in your training cycle. All of these factors are things that you need to look at and really analyze your life and your training and figure out what works for you. I really encourage you not to look at the numbers and get so caught up in, I need to run 50 miles a week, I need to run 40 miles a week. If you are someone out there and you feel like you're getting stretched thin running 5 days a week, then I encourage you not to add another day of running. And if you're feeling burnt out mentally, physically, emotionally, if you just feel like everyday running is a chore and you don't want to get out the door, I encourage you not to increase your mileage. You're actually going to perform better if you manage the stress in your life better. So if you cut down, if you're burnt out and you're like, I just don't want to get out the door, don't go on a run. I mean, more is not always better. Sometimes there's a time where you just need to back off. And I think it's really important that athletes need to incorporate cutback weeks into their training so that your body has a time to recover from the mileage increases that you've been doing. It's not always about more is better. And I really encourage you to find a sweet spot in your training and really analyze, is this mileage increase helping me? Am I doing good running this many miles per week? It's great to increase your mileage. It builds your aerobic base, your aerobic endurance. There's lots of really good benefits to increasing your mileage. But it's also very important to look at your results. How are you responding to this increase in mileage? Because maybe you're just stretched a little bit too thin and backing off would be more beneficial for you. So you could focus on better quality and recovery. Recovery is the most important part of your training. So if you're not recovering in between running and your body is just rejecting this change, I would encourage you to opt out of increasing your mileage at this time. So this is a little rant I have about mileage, but I just wanted to let you know that more is not always better, and there are a lot of other factors that go into, is it the right time for you to increase your mileage right now? Don't be ashamed if you are only running 3 days a week or 4 days a week. That is still a lot of running in a week, and sometimes you're just in different seasons of your life where you can handle those higher mileage and there's just not as much on your plate. But then there's other seasons of your life where you're very stressed and everything, and it's better to just tone back your running so that you can still use it as exercise and continue to run rather than put so much pressure on yourself to run. Oh, well, I might as well not run because I can't run 40 miles a week, so I'm just not gonna run. There's other alternatives to doing that than just a radical movement like that.